Hopewell. Hopewell is an acclaimed Zimbabwean journalist and documentary filmmaker known for his investigative work and human rights advocacy. He has been a vocal critic of corruption in Zimbabwe and has faced significant challenges including arrests due to his outspoken stance. Chingono has worked with prominent international media organizations such as the BBC, ITV News, and the New York Times. He has also received numerous awards for his journalism, including the 2008 CNN African Journalist of the Year Award. Hopewell Chingono rise to fame. Hopewell Chingono rose to fame primarily through his investigative journalism and his fearless reporting on corruption and human rights abuses in Zimbabwe. His work has earned him numerous accolades and has been featured in prominent international media outlets. Chingono's significant rise began with his impactful documentaries and articles that exposed high-level corruption within the Zimbabwean government. One of his notable achievements was his role in uncovering the Drugsgate scandal, which involved the misappropriation of funds meant for COVID-19 medical supplies. This exposure led to the arrest of Zimbabwe's then Health Minister Obadiah Moyo. Despite facing multiple arrests and intimidation by the Zimbabwean authorities, Chingono's commitment to journalism and human rights has only strengthened his reputation both locally and internationally. His work has been recognized with several awards, including being named a Nieman Fellow at Harvard University. Hopewell Chingono early life. Hopewell Chingono was born on March 26, 1971 in Harare, Zimbabwe. He grew up during a tumultuous period in what was then Rhodesia, experiencing the country's liberation war firsthand. This early exposure to political and social upheaval likely influenced his later career in journalism and activism. Chingono's journey into journalism began somewhat circumstantially. At the age of 18, he was commissioned to write an article which marked the start of his career in media. He trained as a journalist at the Zimbabwean Institute of Mass Communications before furthering his education at City University's Journalism School in London. He also attended Harvard University as a Nieman Fellow, which further honed his skills and broadened his perspective. Hopewell Chingono personal life. Hopewell Chingono keeps much of his personal life private, focusing public attention on his work as a journalist and human rights defender. He is known for his resilience and dedication to exposing corruption and advocating for justice in Zimbabwe, despite facing significant personal risks, including multiple arrests. Chingono has shared some insights into his personal experiences, particularly through social media, where he occasionally reflects on his life journey and the challenges he faces. For instance, on his birthday, he shared a post reflecting on his life and the hardships he has endured. His commitment to his work often overshadows his personal life in public discourse, highlighting his focus on making impactful contributions to journalism and human rights. Hopewell Chingono family. Hopewell Chingono has shared some details about his family life through social media and interviews. He grew up in a supportive family environment, with his father being a civil servant who also contributed to the liberation efforts during Zimbabwe's independence struggle. Chingono has mentioned his siblings in his post, including his 69-year-old sister, a retired teacher who lives in Zimbabwe, while her children reside in England and Australia. This indicates a close-knit family, with members spread across different parts of the world. Hopewell Chingono reporting style. Hopewell Chingono's reporting style is characterized by thorough investigative journalism and a strong commitment to uncovering the truth and a focus on exposing corruption and human rights abuses. His approach often involves in-depth research, direct engagement with sources, and fearless attitude towards reporting on sensitive and potentially dangerous topics. Chingono's work is marked by a dedication to factual accuracy and a willingness to confront powerful figures and institutions. He often uses social media platforms to disseminate information quickly and engage with a broader audience, making his findings accessible and impactful. For example, his reporting on the Drugsgate scandal, which highlighted corruption in the procurement of COVID-19 supplies, was instrumental in bringing about significant political repercussions. His style also includes a personal touch, as he often shares his own experiences and reflections, adding a human element to his reporting. This blend of rigorous investigation and personal narrative helps to convey the urgency and importance of the issues he covers. Hopewell Chingono achievements and awards. Hopewell Chingono has received numerous awards and accolades throughout his career, underscoring his significant contributions to journalism and human rights advocacy. Some of his notable achievements and awards include CNN African Journalist of the Year Award 2008. Chingono won this prestigious award for his exceptional work in journalism. Nieman Fellowship at Harvard University 2009. He was selected as a Nieman Fellow, allowing him to study at Harvard and further enhance his journalistic skills. Archbishop Desmond Tutu Leadership Award 2008. This award recognized his leadership and dedication to journalism and social justice. People Journalism Prize for Africa 2020, awarded for his impactful reporting on corruption and governance issues in Zimbabwe. International Anti-Corruption Excellence Award 2022. Chingono received this award in Qatar for his relentless efforts in exposing corruption. These awards reflect Chingono's unwavering commitment to journalism and his significant impact on exposing corruption and advocating for human rights. Hopewell Chingono net worth and endorsements. Hopewell Chingono's net worth is not publicly disclosed, and there are no reliable sources that provide a precise figure. As a journalist and filmmaker, his income primarily derives from his work in media, documentary filmmaking, and possibly speaking engagements. Chingono has not been known to engage in high-profile commercial endorsements, which is typical for someone in his line of work focused on investigative journalism and human rights advocacy. Chingono's financial standing has been a subject of the public interest, particularly in light of his vocal criticism of corruption and governance issues in Zimbabwe. However, he remains more renowned for his journalistic achievements and contributions to social justice rather than for his personal wealth or endorsements. Hopewell Chingono, advocacy and charity work. Hopewell Chingono is deeply involved in advocacy and charity work, primarily focused on promoting human rights, fighting corruption, and supporting social justice initiatives in Zimbabwe. His commitment to these causes is evident through various activities and campaigns he has spearheaded or supported. Anti-corruption advocacy. Chingono is renowned for his relentless efforts to expose corruption within the Zimbabwean government. His investigative reporting has brought significant scandals to light, including the Drugsgate scandal involving the misappropriation of COVID-19 funds. Human rights activism. He actively campaigns for human rights and freedom of expression in Zimbabwe. Chingono's work often highlights the plight of political prisoners and the need for judicial reforms. His advocacy has led to his own repeated arrests, underscoring his commitment to the cause. Support for journalism. Chingono mentors young journalists and advocates for press freedom. He uses his platform to educate and empower the next generation of journalists in Zimbabwe and beyond, encouraging them to pursue truth and integrity in their reporting. Community initiatives. He has been involved in various community-based initiatives aimed at improving the livelihoods of Zimbabweans. For example, he has supported projects that provide educational resources and healthcare services to underserved communities. Global advocacy. Chingono participates in international forums and discussions to raise awareness about the challenges facing Zimbabwe. His involvement with organizations like the Geneva Summit for Human Rights and Democracy helps bring global attention to issues of governance and human rights in his home country. Through these efforts, Hopewell Chingono continues to be a powerful voice for justice and reform, leveraging his skills and platform to effect positive change in Zimbabwe and beyond.